Tonight, Qatar face Switzerland in their opening match of the 2026 World Cup. And for one of these teams, the dream is already on the line. Here's everything you need to know before kickoff. This is the opening match day of Group B, and the stakes could not be more different for these two sides. Qatar and Switzerland begin their 2026 FIFA World Cup journeys in San Francisco on Saturday, as both sides look to get off to a winning start at the tournament. For Qatar, this is about redemption. 4 years on from when the tournament of their lives at home went pear-shaped, Qatar returned to the World Cup. This time under a pedigreed coach in Julen Lopetegui. They didn't even get there directly. Qatar went through the playoffs route, beating the United Arab Emirates in a decisive game in November to qualify. But it's not all bad news for Qatar. Between the last World Cup and now, Qatar successfully defended their AFC Asian Cup title at home, with Akram Afif playing a starring role. Switzerland, on the other hand, arrive with serious expectations. Switzerland are arriving as the highest ranked side in Group B, and led by Sunderland midfielder Granit Xhaka, their firm favourites to win the group. That makes this Qatar's toughest possible opener, but if there's one thing we know about Switzerland, it's that they don't always make life easy for themselves either. So, Group B looks like this. Canada and Bosnia-Herzegovina kicked things off yesterday with a 1-1 draw, and now it's Qatar's turn to try and avoid an early hole. Let's start with Qatar. The headline story here is the man in the dugout, Julen Lopetegui, a coach who's managed Real Madrid, Sevilla, Wolves, and the Spanish national team is now trying to drag Qatar out of the group stage for the first time in their history. The key player to watch is obvious, Akram Afif. He was the standout performer as Qatar successfully defended their Asian Cup title, and he's the creative spark that makes this team tick. If Qatar are going to cause an upset, it almost certainly runs through him, whether that's a moment of individual brilliance, a set-piece delivery, or a penalty. And yes, Afif has a reputation for those. Tactically, expect Qatar to sit in a compact mid to low block. Qatar is not in the same form they were in as host 4 years ago, but still play a lot of close games. And that's the blueprint here. Don't expect them to come out and chase the game. They'll look to stay organised, frustrate Switzerland's build-up, and try to nick something on the counter or from a set piece. The weakness is just as clear, a talent gap at the back and in midfield against a UEFA side with this much experience. If Switzerland can break Qatar's structure early through quick transitions or width on the flanks, this could open up fast. Qatar's biggest enemy here isn't just Switzerland's quality, it's the scoreline going 1 goal down and forcing them to open up against a much more clinical opponent. Now to Switzerland, and the man everyone's talking about is Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, now playing his club football at Sunderland, leads this Swiss side, and he's the engine room that controls tempo from deep midfield. If Switzerland are dictating this game, it's because Xhaka is dictating it. Coach Murat Yakin has built a reputation for getting the most out of this group at major tournaments. Yakin guided Switzerland to the round of 16 at the last World Cup, where they lost 6-1 to Portugal after a Goncalo Ramos hat-trick, and they also eliminated Italy on their way to the quarterfinals at Euro 2024. Before losing on penalties to England. That's the profile of this team: resilient, well-organised, capable of beating bigger names, but occasionally prone to defensive collapses against elite attacking talent. Tactically, expect Switzerland to dominate possession and try to control the game through midfield, using Xhaka to dictate the rhythm while their wide players look to stretch Qatar's backline. Their strength is structure and experience. This is a team that knows how to grind out results at major tournaments. The weakness. That 6-1 scoreline against Portugal is a reminder that when things go wrong for Switzerland, they can go really wrong. Against a side like Qatar, that shouldn't be an issue. But if Qatar manage to nick an early goal and Switzerland get rattled chasing the game, there's a history of this team being vulnerable to chaos. Here's something most fans don't know. These two teams have only met once before. Qatar has faced Switzerland previously only one time, a 1-0 friendly win for Qatar back in 2018. That's it, one meeting, one Qatar win 8 years ago in a meaningless friendly. So don't put too much stock in the history here. This is essentially uncharted territory for both nations on the World Cup stage. What we do know is that Qatar pulled off a shock once before. The question is whether they can repeat it when it actually matters. So here's my call. I think Switzerland's quality and experience tells in the end, but I don't think this is a comfortable night for them. My predicted scoreline: Switzerland 2-1 Qatar. Here's how I see it playing out. Switzerland control the ball for long stretches, but Qatar stay compact and frustrate them for most of the first half. Switzerland eventually break through via a set piece or a moment of individual quality out wide, probably in the second half. Qatar respond, and this is where I'm backing Akram Afif to get on the score sheet, either from open play or from the penalty spot, because he has shown time and again he's not afraid of the big moment. But Switzerland's class shows again late on, and they get a second to seal it. Key player for a goal or assist: Akram Afif for Qatar. Granit Xhaka or one of Switzerland's attacking midfielders for the assist on Switzerland's side. X factor, this is San Francisco in June. Weather shouldn't be a huge factor, but travel and adjustment will be. This is also an opening group game for both sides, and opening games at World Cups are notoriously nervy. Whoever settles first and avoids an early mistake could have a real psychological edge for the rest of the group. That's my prediction, but I want to hear yours. Drop your scoreline in the comments below. Do you think Qatar can pull off the upset, or is Switzerland too strong here? Subscribe for more World Cup coverage every single day, all tournament long. See you in the next one.